Welcome to another episode of Gooba Pasta. Do you live in a state that you don't like and complain about all the time? And you think if you leave the state that all your problems will be solved? Well, if you do, you'll find this next tale to be quite spooky.
I live in Illinois. I've lived here all my life, and let me tell you, it sucks. I am 15 years old, and I have complained and complained and complained about living here all the time. My grandma has constantly bought me stuff and taken care of everything that I've needed, but still, she does not realize how bad Illinois sucks. I finally had enough, and after school the bus dropped me off at my trailer that I shared with my grandma because she's doing the best she can because my mom was a fucking crackhead and my dad was a sperm donor who I think is in the Illinois State Penitentiary down in Pontiac for touching too many butts down there at the Planet Fitness in Effingham, Illinois, because that kind of thing goes on there. I busted in the door. I said, "Damn it, Grandma." I said, "I can't live in Illinois a single moment longer. I want to get the hell out of here, and I want to go anywhere. Any other state is going to be so much better than living in Illinois. All that dude Pitzker does is make all these rules and regulations that are designed to help us and keep us safe, but for some reason it pisses me off because all my Busch Light drinking redneck friends' dads complain about it because they don't understand with their high school educations."
"Oh, fart spray. Listen, Illinois is a great place to live. And what you have to understand is that your problems are always going to go with you. It's not where you live. It's who you are as a person that determines the quality of your life."
"Grandma, you don't understand anything. I'm 15 years old and I got all this shit figured out. Now listen, we're going to pack up that Chevy Cilantro outside with luggage and all the crap that we own, and we're getting the hell out of here."
"Well, where are we gonna go, genius?"
"We're going to go down to Florida, where there is nothing but smart people that live down there. They are the smartest group of people ever. We're going to go down there. It's going to be palm trees. It's going to be sunny beaches, and it's going to be great. And my 15-year-old ass is finally going to get laid. And I'm going to join a high school, and I'm going to be like this big-time cool guy who's just moving there, just like I've seen in all the movies, because those are very accurate portrayal of real life."
"Okay, fart spray. How are we gonna get there? With what money?"
Oh, she had us there. We don't have much money because, my grandma was living on a fixed income, and we just didn't really have a lot of different things. But I didn't really have much of a concept of money. "Look, Grandma, get in the car."
"Oh, fart spray. I'm gonna make some dinner, so sit down, and we're gonna have meatloaf and mashed potatoes."
I was not about to sit in this house and have another serving of meatloaf and mashed potatoes. It was going to be so much better whenever we got out of Illinois. I just knew it. I knew it all. And I didn't care what we had to do to get there. I was going to do it. So I went up to my grandma. "Look, you geriatric phony, give me your social security check and give me your car keys."
"Why don't you come and take it from me, big boy?"
Well, I didn't want to do that, but Grandma sure did put me up to it. So I went at her, and I cocked back and threw a wicked right cross and drew nothing but air. Grandma was fast. She hemmed my ass up real quick and put me in a headlock and had me on the ground.
"You stupid son of a bitch, you think you can whoop Grandma's ass? I've been whooping ass since 1972, and I'm not gonna fucking get my ass whooped by some little 15-year-old. Or you're gonna calm your ass down and eat this meatloaf. You understand what I'm saying?"
I said, because she was like totally whipping my ass. She had me by 300 pounds, because I was like 110 pounds soaking wet, and she was like pretty hefty. But damn, I gotta tell ya, Grandma really whooped me up good that night. She finally let me up. "All right, old lady," I said. You just wait. Once I get out of this state, my life is going to be so much better. 3 years later, I finally turned 18. I'd got a job at the local Track Shack, which was some janky-ass restaurant by a railroad track in my hometown. And I decided that I was going to save up every dollar I had, and finally the day came. When I turned 15, I started smoking weed with my dumbass loser friends, and I dropped out of all extracurricular activities, and I gained a whole whopping 5 pounds, so my ass was 115 pounds soaking wet. But nonetheless, I was 18 years old, and I could get the fuck out of my grandma's trailer. After work, my boss asked me if I was going to pick up an extra shift for this weekend. I said, fuck you, old man. I said, Illinois has been nothing but a problem for me. And I've got $300 to my name, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. He looked dumbfounded at me, but I didn't really give a shit. So I was like, what do you got to say, you old-timey fuck? Look, young man, I'm 32 years old, so I don't really think that qualifies me to be an old-timey fuck. And you've been a pretty shitty worker. The only reason we keep you here is because this is a small town and it's hard to find some goober that wants to wash dishes on Fridays and Saturday nights. So you go ahead. You go ahead and get out of here, because I got another young man that I'm going to hire that's going to do a lot better job than you. I didn't hear anything he said, because all I could think about was my escape to Florida. I went back to my grandma's trailer and I kicked in the door yet again.
God damn it, fart spray, she protested. I told you to quit entering this trailer by kicking in the door. You open it and close it like a normal human being.
Don't worry about that, old lady, I said. I'm 18 years old. I got $300 I saved up from my crappy dishwashing job at the Track Shack, and my ass is going to Florida, where all my problems are going to go away as soon as I get there.
Alright, shit fuck. You get the hell out of here and don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
I packed my meager belongings into a SpongeBob duffel bag that I've had since I was in the 8th grade. I went to the local Amtrak station and I waited for the train. The Amtrak station was a town over, so I just started walking down the highway, and eventually I got there. It took about 6 hours, but holy fuck, I was glad to be there. Lo and behold, the train only runs a couple times a day, and I had to wait at that train station for 12 hours. And let me tell you, that was a long 12 hours. Fortunately, it had a vending machine, so I was able to get some fucking chips and shit out of the vending machines and a couple ginger ales, and that's what tided me over. Finally, the train came up, and the conductor got out and was letting people on board. I ran up and knocked over a couple other people that were trying to board the train. Whoa there, buddy. You got a ticket? Look, old man, I don't need a ticket, okay? You get the fuck out my way, because I'm getting on this train, and I'm going to Florida, and all my problems are going to be solved. I'm getting the hell out of Illinois. It's a crappy state, and anywhere is going to be better here. And all my problems are going to stay here and are not going to come with me in any way, shape, or form. Well, that's real motivating there, bucko. You got a ticket or what? Look, man, I'm about ready to knock your ass out. Now you move, and before I could say another word, the conductor took out his walkie-talkie and started bashing me over the head with it. I don't know much about what happened after that, but I awoke 3 hours later, and the train was gone, and I was laying there. My head was throbbing from that thrashing from that guy's walkie-talkie. He's lucky I didn't whip his ass, because if he would have not got the jump on me like a chump, I was going to whoop his ass. I had to get to Florida, one way or another. This state was nothing but problems. I noticed there was another train. This wasn't a passenger train, but it was like one that hauls grain and stuff. A freight train, I think is what they call them. I don't know. I didn't pay much attention in school because all my days in school was spent fantasizing about how I was going to get out of Illinois and all my problems were going to stay here in this crappy state because everything else is a problem but me. So I jumped on the back of it, and a couple hours later it started moving. Hell yeah, I'm on my way to Florida, I thought, where all my problems are going to be solved. I fell asleep at some point because I'd been up for quite some time. One of my friends had gave me a lot of methamphetamine, so I decided to go ahead and start smoking that shit to get myself all hyped up to go to Florida. I was geeking out pretty hard when all of a sudden I heard a rustling, and it was some hobo guy. I said, "Whoa there, bud." I said, "What the hell you doing on this train?"
Same thing you are, Mac. Traveling the rails.
"Oh, okay, well that's cool, I guess. My name's Fart Spray."
Fart Spray? What kind of name's that?
"I don't know. All I know is that my mom did a lot of drugs and my dad is a deadbeat. I'm going to Florida. My problems are going to be solved."
That's all fine and dandy, but this train don't go to Florida. What?
I said in exclamation. "Where does it go?"
Butte, Montana.
"Oh, holy shit. Where are we at now?"
I don't know. I just ride these freight cars to and from all day long, all night. And I travel from town to town that's on them.
"Well, I guess if I wasn't going to make it to Florida, then Montana would be A-okay." The train traveled through Illinois and went northwest according to this homeless guy. Boy, he sure was stinky. I said, "Hey, homeless guy."
My name's Jerry.
He said, "I don't give a fuck what your name is, okay? I'm getting out of this state and all my problems are going to be solved. So listen to me. What the fuck? When are we going to get to Montana?"
Well, it's gonna be several days.
I was geeking out real hard by now, and I decided to smoke more methamphetamine. "Fuck this, old man. I'm getting the fuck off this train," and I jumped. I hit my head pretty hard and was knocked unconscious. But thankfully, due to all the methamphetamine, I regained consciousness pretty quickly. Oh boy, this was great. I looked around at my new environment. It sure did look a lot like Illinois, but I was almost certain this wasn't Illinois. Fortunately, I was in some kind of medium-sized town, so I decided that I was going to go ahead and start my life with my meager earnings. I went up to the nearest house I could and knocked on the door. Some dude answered. "What's up, fat ass? Hey, listen." The door slammed immediately in my face. Some people are just so rude, I thought. This guy had no idea what I was trying to do, which was escape Illinois, which I had done. So I went over to the next house and knocked on the door. Some other chick answered. I said, "Listen up, lady. I'm from Illinois. I've just escaped Illinois, and all my problems are left behind there. I got $300, cash money. Well, it was more like $280 after all that shit I spent it in the vending machine. I said, I'm going to give you $20, and you're going to let me stay here, and you're going to cook me some dinner and shit, okay?" She kind of looked at me with a big smirk. "You think so, huh?" "Yeah, what's the problem with that, woman?" Well, there was one problem with that. You see, you're still in Illinois. "Shut up," I said. "Shut up. You lie. You lie. This is not Illinois. I rode the train for miles and days and hours, and I got away from that state. And all my problems were left in that state because all my problems are caused by other things, especially the state I live in, and it is no way, shape, or form caused by me." Well, she kind of just shut the door on me, laughing in my face. I think she called the police because sure enough, a bunch of squad cars showed up, but I was like 15 and tough. So I went up in there and I started throwing some pretty sweet roundhouses. But man, these cops were some fucking punks, and they took out their nightclubs in Mace and like totally beat the hell out of me. Since I was a minor, well, in some counties I was still a minor due to my age of being 18, but I spent a couple days in that pokey. I had smoked all my meth, so I didn't get in trouble with that. My grandma came and got me.
Well, Fart Spray, how'd your endeavor getting out of the state really work?
It worked not very well. And I tell you what, one day I'm going to get out of this crappy state. And all my problems are going to be A-okay. Well, guess what, Fart Spray? "What's that, Grandma?" I replied.
You're never gonna leave this state.
"And why's that?" I said.
Because everybody like you that talks about leaving the state of Illinois does two things. Number one, they bitch about living in the state of Illinois. And number two, they never leave. I shook my head at that old lady, but sure enough, she was right. I went back and got my crappy job at the old fucking track shack.
Then I married one of the waitresses and had 6 kids with her, and we got a trailer right next to my grandma. And I tell you, my life has been okay ever since. I've gotten multiple DUIs. I developed a very bad drug and alcohol problem. My wife ended up leaving me. My 6 kids are hoodlums, and I am completely bald and out of shape, and I'm only 36 years old. I tell you, I thought I had it all figured out. Leaving Illinois was causing all my problems, but guess what? I was really causing all my problems. But that's okay, because I'm never going to change. And I'm just going to bitch and complain and blame all my problems on the state that I live in. And if I ever left this state, then I would have to blame all my problems on the new state I lived in. But I guess Illinois is just as good as any other state to blame all my problems on. Thank you, bitches.